How y'all doing this morning? This is American ISIS. This is Big Les, and today's topic is the black dollar. The black dollar. Let me say what I got written down. I lived in Atlanta for decades between Detroit and Georgia. Atlanta is trendy. Whatever pop culture presents, they go and get. From St. Ides in the 90s to a dog in a purse, and in the mid 2000s, colored hair, yoga pants, and $200 weave. They buy it. And 90% of the stores are owned by non-black people. All right. I'm not knocking another person's hustle, but how long does it take for a customer to say, hey, I can do that too? In 1995, I visited an adult video store to take a photo with an adult star. It cost $20. I talked to one of the stars and she said that she also danced. I looked at her outfit, went online and got the clothes wholesale catalog. I ordered the clothes for the Gentleman Club dancers at 20% cheaper than the stores that they had here in Atlanta, and snagged a 10% sales commission. Now you're telling me that you can't buy weave or clothes wholesale and sell it yourself, or open a shop and do hair. Whatever they do, you can do. The black dollar is spent for these items, and none of it is going back to the community. You just look around. Just look around. Every black dollar spent is going in somebody else's pocket, somebody else's hand, somebody else's savings and checking account, except black people in the community. The money doesn't circulate. Now, here's the biggest black dollar collectors: the church, the black church, especially in the South. It's the Bible Belt. The church is a nonprofit organization. This means they don't pay taxes. They live off of tithes and contributions. 10% of your check goes to the staff of just a few people in the black church. Now, outside of rent, light, gas, and water, where is the extra black dollars going in the black church? Some say the staff must be paid. No, they don't. Like any nonprofit organization, they ask for volunteers. Sisters come out in the dozens with dishes and desserts for the church bake sales. And that money also goes in the pockets of the preachers and pastors of the church and its staff. And it doesn't circulate back into the community. I'm going to read a Bible passage. Mark 12:17 and also Luke 20:24. Jesus said, "Show me the coin." He said, "Whose picture and title is on it?" Then he said, "Give it back. Give back to Caesar what's Caesar's, and give God's what is God's." So why don't the people, men and women of God, the church, give back the tithes and contributions to the community that surrounds them, that's in disarray, that's tore down, that's trash everywhere? When I came out of my house in 2015 and I walked down the street, it's a mega church. A mega church. This giant church had a parking lot big as Target's, Kroger. And you could see all the garbage thrown on the ground and trash thrown on the ground all the way up until you got to the church property, which was spotless. And then after you left the church, not just a few feet from the inches, from a few feet and inches from the church property, the trash continued. How come the entire community can't be clean like that? Well, the church represents something clean that we want to have in our community. How about making the entire community clean? Does that make sense? Yes? No? There are black dollar movements. One of them is called New Era Detroit. And they're making the well-to-do churches in the community be held responsible for those large extra dollars to go back into the infrastructure of the communities that bleed money from the constituents' pockets to the church. Now you can go to YouTube and watch New Era Detroit get down. Also, check out Tupac and what he said about the black churches. Also, check out a documentary called Black Church Incorporated. You, we, us, we can transform the ghetto, poor black neighborhoods, and poor neighborhoods in general, by forcing these churches to give that money back to the community. I mean, we have grown sick and tired of watching you drive around in your new Mercedes-Benz coupe, Cadillac, and you and your wife and the whole staff with all that money and living in a nice house or a mansion while we struggling to pay our monthly bills and rent and light, gas, and putting gas in the car, and the kids need food, and you just living just good. Oh, hell no, that's over. It's over. That pinky ring that TD Jakes got, it's over. Your boy Truffalo Dollar or whatever the hell his name is, it's over. It's over. Bishop Eddie Long's church, over. It's over. And the only thing we got to do is not pay tithes. You don't have to pay tithes. Don't give these churches no contributions. Save your money. You need this. God doesn't need it. And the representatives of God, they really don't need it. They got money. They got bread. You need it. Keep it to yourself. That's the black dollar. And you know, I saw this other documentary where inside the black church, they was cutting up credit cards and they was pooling their money together to help each other get out of debt. That right there is what I'm talking about. That right there is the shit. That's what I'm talking about. Pull your tithes and resources together for your community. Wow. And you know what's the real big thing is? That church down here that sold their church and their property to build that new Mercedes-Benz stadium for the Atlanta Falcons. It was in the neighborhood of like, I don't know, somewhere between $18 and $22 million. Not one red cent has went to the communities around them or behind them. This is part one of the black dollar. This is American ISIS, and I'm Big Les. Y'all have a good one. All right, cut that off.